Welcome to the Axiom. New file detected. Launching file.
Hello world, my name is Leo, and today we are continuing
You're on a path.
the Slay the
in
Princess
woods,
file.
and at the end of you're here to slay.
When we last left off, we had gone through two of the most interesting routes in the game, in my opinion. The Wild and the Princess and the Dragon. And the Princess and the Dragon is definitely up there. Like, it's probably tied for my favorite with Happily Ever After. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I was editing, I noticed that I don't know if I had a whole lot of commentary during The Princess and the Dragon, because I was so thrown off and so enraptured by what had happened and what was happening that I was just letting it all flow. Like, words didn't seem right, and also I could not think of words to commentate over what was happening. It was really good. Princess and the Dragon was amazing. So today, as promised, we are going to... How many do I need? Do I need 2 princesses or 3? I don't remember. I want to say 3 more. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what I said. We're going to see if we can get the 3rd chapter prisoner. And then sometimes the only way to break up vicious cycles is to put your heart on the line. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to do chapter 3 prisoner. And then we will do trying to talk to her and then slay her, and then we'll see what happens from there. So we are going to also feel free to let me know, is the gallery part of the Pristine Cut, or was that in the original game as well? Feel free to let me know. But okay, we are going to silently continue to the cabin, and I'll come back when I reach the prisoner. I wonder, if I were to immediately free her instead of asking all these questions, would I get smitten as the prisoner voice? Yeah. I guess slaying the princess here would be a different route, but I want to do the prisoner first. So let's go ahead and save the princess.
A warning. She will lie. Yes, don't believe a word she
Okay,
says.
so I still got the
Just go
skeptic.
in,
I did not
take
get
the
smitten.
knife,
Okay.
do what you're supposed to. Wink. Why would you be worried about her?
Okay.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall?
Yep.
What an interesting development. Why don't
What if I just left her here? I'm not sure I need... You know what? Let's try it. I haven't done this yet, at least. I'm not sure I need to do much of anything. Do you see how locked up she is? I'm just going to leave her here.
As if by divine will, just as you finish the thought, you hear a door slam. I'm afraid you won't be leaving until the task is finished. It doesn't matter how many chains she's in, without your intervention, she'll find a way out eventually.
Okay.
That's not fair. Unless you deal with her right here, right now, she will remain an existential threat to the entire world. What seems unfair to you is fair for everyone else. Huh. So it's not even safe to think. I see how it is.
Skeptic is gonna hate this.
How surprising. They locked you down here too.
Yeah. Who is they? I guess, let's... Okay, let's overwrite this, because that clearly didn't do anything. What would happen if I slayed the princess? Just without sitting with her, just slayed her. Because there's a couple of options that I could do. I could, like, sitting with her gave me the option of having her cut herself out, or me cutting her out. And either of those could potentially lead to another route. But I haven't tried slaying her again as the... I could just slay her and see what that does. I feel bad because she just wants to talk. You know what? I've saved. In the interest of experimentation, I will slay the princess just to see what happens.
Without a moment of hesitation, you charge the princess, your blade primed to deliver a lethal strike.
Okay, well, that doesn't sound like I'm going to succeed. This sounds like something's going to happen. Oh my. I don't like that reaction.
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
Okay.
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
In an instant they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Huh, okay, well then. She got me. How did that even happen?
Or you die.
You know, I could... If you kill me, you can't leave.
I thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us. Just listen to her, do what she says.
How
many times
should
did
I?
I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her.
I do still have
before
it.
She ends you.
I do still have it in my hand. Slay the princess or drop it. Well, you know what? I gotta slay the princess. I gotta. In the name of experiment, I do actually feel bad. The prisoner was at least nice, and she was a good, she was a good conversationalist, you know? We learned a lot of lore. Did we learn a lot of lore in the prisoner route? We were at the very least able to ask a plethora of questions during the prisoner route, and she was nice about it. And even though she wasn't one for small talk, she was still good company. But in the name of experimentation, in the name of trying to get to chapter 3, I'm gonna try to slay the princess.
You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike.
Let me guess, she pulled the chains in front of the blade and now she's free.
You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you.
Nice, okay.
But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart.
Okay.
The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
Wow. Interesting. Is that all it took? I mean, she didn't have any big powers.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge.
I mean, that's a good justification for it, I guess. It was all in the name of experimentation, but I guess, so where is this going to lead to?
Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
Okay. What does that mean?
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world
Coldly
is
rational
saved.
executes a prisoner.
Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
I didn't get the good ending again, did I?
I don't like this. It was too easy.
Yeah, skeptic. Manifest something.
It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably.
Shut up, narrator. I don't like this. I feel bad. Genuinely. Like,
Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now.
it would be so funny if it went to chapter 2, The Spectre.
You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises?
Oh no, is he going to go for the empty chain?
It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone.
It's not, though.
And especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty, and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here.
But we know that it's not.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
That's fair.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
Sure.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty.
Yep, the world ended.
The door. Check the door.
Open the door and accept your reward.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
Mm-hmm.
Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
Aha. You know, narrator, I don't like this very much.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows. But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward?
No, this is the reward.
This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it.
So what is chapter 3 here?
Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
So is this going to just lead back to Spectre?
Like hell it is.
Yeah. You tell him, skeptic. Okay, so this is the same options. Or did I get... where would this lead? I was kind of hoping we'd get a better ending for saving the world.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No, this is the beginning of eternity. Your reward, like I just told you. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days
Okay,
or
so this is the
months,
exact same
decades.
dialogue.
No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
Yeah. Didn't you hear the neighbor? I'm happy we're happy. What do you suggest we do then? I don't want to die again. I didn't like dying last time. I'm going to accept my reward now. I know I'm pretty happy. I'm going to subject my reward now. I'm going to accept my reward now. What do you suggest then?
We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over.
Uh-huh.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
Okay. I'm very confused as to where this would lead, but I'm going to slay myself. Hang on, let me just... I'm probably not gonna keep this save, but let me just, I I don't want to die again. I didn't like dying last time. I'm going to accept my reward now.
That's great. Congratulations. You've earned it.
Is this?
More happy time
Okay, no,
is
that's...
just saying things.
Yep.
The voices protest.
Yep.
Eventually you pass
Yep.
into a blissful...
Okay, so this is the quote-unquote good ending.
No, you stop that. Stop all this nonsense. You really don't want to be happy.
Have a
do you?
voice ruin your happy ending. Oh. What was that breathing?
You know what you have to do.
Interesting. So Skeptic didn't... That's very interesting. Is there really no other way? Because I don't want to use the blade on myself.
If it makes it easier for you, I can do it. Let me have it.
Oh? Give the blade to the voice of the skeptic. What? What is happening? Okay. We're going to save again. What happens if I say, sorry, but we're not... Or would he take control away from me? Sorry, but we're not doing that.
Don't apologize. I'm sorry.
Okay, he is going to do it.
Wait, why are you sorry?
He is going to take control away from me.
Your body lurches as your heart suddenly stops beating. Are you killing us?
Oh.
You'll forgive me eventually.
Skeptic. I'm not even mad. I'm just like...
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose? Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
True.
I don't have to answer that.
Then I guess it's fine if we die.
That's all we needed to hear. It turns out that it doesn't take too long to die after your heart stops beating. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Where is this going to go?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Thanks, Skeptic. I mean, I knew he was going to take control. I figured, but yeah. Chapter 3, The Gray.
You're on a path in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place.
Okay.
There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling.
Yeah. This is like very sad sounding.
That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay?
I mean, dark is his nature.
I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine.
I wonder what I would have gotten if I had talked to her and then chosen to slay her.
So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2?
This is our third.
It's our third. What gave it away? Your open discussions.
Are we not supposed to have open discussions?
You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time?
No, he does.
I'm afraid not.
Yeah.
Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first.
Oh well, you're not.
So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because
True.
there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed.
And he can't tell us why. That's the funny thing.
It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade.
Is she like a phantom now? Like a different kind of ghost?
And now she's dead. and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. You already slew her, and you survived?
Yeah.
Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here?
Because we...
I know that one. The gruff one stopped our heart and we died. Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward.
And now that we're in chapter 2, you can't hide away from that.
Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy.
But we weren't. Who in their right mind would be happy with quote-unquote eternal bliss in a sea of nothingness? Like, this is also, like... So this shows, and this is something, like a through line throughout the whole thing. Like, even with, like, the Spectre and getting that eternal bliss happy ending. The narrator either truly does not care about us or what happens to us, or he is truly so delusional that he thinks that an eternal bliss of like living in nothing would make someone happy. And granted, both of those things can be true. So, I don't know. I'm inclined to believe both. I don't think the narrator cares about us insofar as we have the ability to slay the princess. Outside of that, I don't think the narrator actually cares about us.
We were bored. There were still answers that we needed to find.
Yeah.
It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything.
But what do you mean it was working?
How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us?
Because we have to live in the world where it's... Yeah.
The world doesn't stay saved if you die.
Okay, why not?
And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead.
It's raining. It wasn't really last time. Or the time before that. The whole path is different. We haven't talked enough about how different this place is. It wasn't different last time. What happens if we don't go to the cabin? I'll have you know that I didn't want to kill myself last time. Whatever happens next seems like all our answers to the cabin might as well see this through. I'm done with this. Bye! It's raining. It wasn't raining last time. Or the time before that. The whole path is different.
Yes, things are different, aren't they?
They are.
If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time.
Okay.
Her influence? What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be.
Skeptic is the king of overthinking. Don't tell him to overthink. He'll just think about it more.
And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse.
Okay.
Come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know?
Exactly.
No.
Gosh darn it, narrator.
Is there a reason it would be raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
True, although I'm thinking, is it going to be like a banshee or something? What happens if we don't go to the cabin? I'll have you know that I didn't want to kill myself last time. Okay, what happens if we don't go to the cabin?
She'll find a way out eventually and the world will still end. The only way this resolves is if you find her and slay her before that happens. We already know he wants us to slay her. Anything he says is tainted by his motivations.
Very true, very true.
Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either. So long as we don't just do the same thing again. That would be boring.
That'd be pretty boring. Just because I'm very curious to hear what is said, I'm going to say, I'll have you know that I didn't want to kill myself last time.
That's great to hear, but it doesn't matter because you still died.
Hey.
No hard feelings, right?
No, actually, I don't mind. I'm not mad whatsoever.
Of course not. No feelings at all?
Speak for yourself.
What? You wanted us to stay in the happiness void forever? I doubt that.
Yeah, Hero's the one who didn't want to stay last time. Alright. Whatever happens next, it seems like all our answers are in the cabin. We might as well see this through. Proceed to the cabin.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, alright?
Alright.
What we do is entirely up to us.
Very true.
And we have all those mysteries to unravel.
Exactly.
Isn't that right?
We need to unravel the mysteries. We need to find the lore. Not that I basically already found it by, like, after part 6. Pretty proud of myself. I'll tell you guys later. No.
You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world.
By the way, when I said I'll tell you guys later, I was doing a joke of, like, telling Skeptic and Cold later. You guys already know all my thoughts on the lore and stuff. So yeah, you guys was referring to the voices, not to you guys. You guys are fine. You guys are great. Oh, also, I wanted to say at the beginning, but I forgot. But I've remembered now. It is really cool how much you guys are enjoying this series. Like, I haven't had time to respond to a lot of the comments, but I've been keeping up with and, like, reading all of them, and the fact that I'm seeing so many new faces and new names in the comments is really awesome. So yeah, welcome to all of the new people, and I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. So yeah, let's go ahead and
That's
go
what
into the
you
cabin.
say. But how can we be sure?
Exactly. We can't be sure of anything.
We can't be sure of anything except
Ha-ha.
what's right in front of us.
Yup. Look at Cold and Skeptic making a very interesting duo right now.
Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world.
Maybe.
Why? Because we should. I don't know. It's important.
Skeptic, thoughts?
Is it?
I don't know.
Yes. I think.
Is the fate of the world not important?
For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real.
That's also true. We're getting into, like, deep conspiracy, like, skepticism right now.
Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else?
Kind of, actually.
Maybe we are.
So if the princess's consciousness also gets transported to the other world, maybe it is a thing where, like, the like, I don't know if the princess stays trapped in the construct or if the construct is separate from the world. I mean, like, we know the construct is separate from the world because we have to break it open to see the world. Also, by the way, Princess and the Dragon did confirm that the game is the construct. Otherwise, the title cards wouldn't have been a thing that would have been brought up. So that's another thing about my theories that was confirmed. But yeah, I don't know how separate the construct is from the rest of the world. So, like, maybe the world ends, or maybe it's all just parallel constructs in one world. I don't know.
This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
All right. We're going. Proceed into the cabin.
As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck
Oh.
by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death and stagnant water. The
Hi.
once stately wooden building is bloated its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive.
I see you. Is this going to be another scary route? Is this another scary one?
But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall.
Well, she's not in the basement.
Is that her? It's like she isn't even there.
Yeah, I mean, she is... I don't know. She's a ghost. Another ghost. Interesting.
See? We killed her.
This effect on the wood is so interesting. It's like, yeah, like completely bowed in with liquid.
You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time.
Yeah.
Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room.
Oh, so she's just like a wandering ghost.
The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door, it's just that damn mirror again. Yes, the mirror that he can't see. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
There's not even a table, as far as I can tell.
Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it.
That's not how Spectre worked.
But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again.
That's actually interesting. That would explain what happened with the Wraith, and why there was no blade during that route either. Although that doesn't explain the Skeptic. Or not the Skeptic, the Spectre. If that were the case, there would have been no blade during Spectre either. Unless the construct wanted to see if we could slay a ghost. I don't know.
I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
We can't. There's a mirror in the way. But there is no door.
If this is anything like last time, the mirror will disappear as soon as we try and touch it. I'm sure the door is just behind it.
I wonder if it's going to be another, like, the mirror disappears and boo, she's right there.
You're clearly hallucinating, but I'd rather not get into it with you right now. The door to the basement is on the far side of the room, whether you can see it or not.
Yep. Approach the mirror.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door.
Alright, sounds good.
It's still so hazy. We should try and clean it off.
We should.
Yes. Trying to touch it does seem to be the magic spell to get it out of our way.
Very true, very true.
Maybe it won't disappear this time and we'll finally get a good look at ourselves. We should explore every option.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things.
Alright, so we have a princess who refuses to help us, and who is going to be slightly more vengeful. Let's see what happens.
No way left to go but down.
I mean, we could go back. Enter the basement.
The door to the basement groans open,
Hi.
The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated
Ew.
with slimy algae, the wood rotted through
Algae.
in places, reeking of fetid vegetation.
Okay.
A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters.
Okay. Is she gonna try to drown us?
There she is again.
Yep, she's right there.
Barely.
Yup.
She's just an old memory.
She's clearly looking at us.
Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
Very curious to see. I'm not going to look at the gallery. I'm not gonna spoil myself for the choices I'll have. But I'm very curious to see if this is like similar to the Wraith or something like that. I'm sorry about last time. Are we good? Is anyone there? I think we have a lot to talk about. I don't have a weapon. There wasn't anything. Okay. Let's save. Let's start a new page. Is anyone there?
You receive no response.
Okay.
Do you think she's upset with us? I don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed.
Yeah, I mean, she's almost certainly upset with us.
She doesn't seem fully there. I'm not sure she's even capable of being upset.
Fair, fair.
You aren't helping.
She's
Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. It won't do anything.
So is this going to be... How similar is this going to be a Spectre? Well, it's already very different because of the state of the walls and stuff. Proceed down the stairs.
As you descend the final step, the
Oh my.
form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters. Her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain.
Okay. Is she a water monster now?
This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom.
That means if the door locks and the water starts rising, we're gonna drown. Oh. That is probably what's going to happen, isn't it? She's going to try to drown us.
See? She's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do?
Turn around and leave, I guess.
She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is.
Is that... Well, I know that's how that works, but,
Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games.
Exactly. Go ahead and just tell us. Tell us why her being dead is the result of us believing that she's dead.
If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this?
Exactly. We can just turn around and leave right now.
Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock.
Welp, here comes the drowning.
You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs.
Alright, well then.
So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead.
Yeah, that's, isn't that a pickle?
She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even.
Well, if you say that, you're going to make us agree with you and then manifest it. So maybe you should stop.
Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table.
Okay.
Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't.
I don't think she wants to talk. She said she wasn't going to help us. She said we can forget about her helping us.
But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
Oh, I know. Huh. Rush for the... Hold on. So, it's a lot of... Why did you close the door? Let me out of you trying to kill me. What's wrong with you? I don't want this. I only killed you after you killed me first. We're even now. We don't need to do this again. Please, I'm begging you. I'll do anything. Just don't let me drown. Is this about last time? I'm sorry. Now, can you let me out? Rush for the blade or rush for the door? So... So it's a lot of different variations of us asking to be let out. Or trying to leave or trying to get the weapon. I mean, all of these are pretty obvious. So, why did you close the door?
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does
Oh!
is watch you in shadowed silence.
Look at that! I'm drowning.
Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it?
Yes, it is. She said she wasn't going to help me.
It is, and it's rising fast.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel.
Probably not great.
Bad, I bet.
Probably.
I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
Sure. Are you trying to kill me? I'm going to drown. I don't want this. I only killed you. I mean, so the smart thing to do, I mean, all of these seem useless. It's all variations on let me out, I'm begging you, let me out. And she probably won't even answer any of it. So I'm just gonna rush for the blade, I guess. Yeah, let's, I mean, I could, theoretically, I'm guessing one of the options would be to keep trying different variations of let me out until I drown. But I'm very curious about rushing for the blade. And I have saved. So we're going to do that.
The princess eyes you with a disaffected gaze as you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps.
Ah, what happened?
The door bursts open, a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood.
Oh,
Your head slams into the basement wall.
all right. Well then. That was unexpected.
You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out.
Okay. Well, that's that then.
It's so dark and cold, I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this?
Man, where's Paranoid when you need him? Or Hunted, or something.
Just keep breathing, we'll figure this out. Or we won't. Doesn't matter either way.
Cold, you're not helping. We need all hands on deck for this.
But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle.
Yeah, I figured the body might come in addition to the ghost.
You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths.
Okay, the music is kind of scary.
As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness.
Great. Okay, cool. Interesting. Gross.
I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please.
Okay.
The past is the past. There's no change in it. There's nothing to fix.
Exactly. We're gonna die.
Not a lot we can do about the present either. Not unless we think like we should have been doing all along.
Skeptic? Well, what do you suggest? Alright?
But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
You know, narrator, you could just tell us that we can't drown, and then we'll be all good.
Your lungs filled with water.
And all this long drown in the hands of a fated spirit.
In the end, we're not so different.
Ha! Okay. Oh. But your lungs don't fill, nor will they ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. Hang on. So, the gray. Feelings buried like knives in hearts. Oh, that's funny. Black and then white. I like that animation. Okay, so I missed a lot, it looks like. So, these aren't the same woods as before. They're more of a rolling plain. So is that if I turned around? More of a museum than a cabin. A desiccated body burning down the house. Burning down the house. Burning down the house. You've been here before the flames took it all away. What? A bright heart. You've been here before the flames took it all away. A deep heart. See through her burning eyes and everything. See through her drowned eyes and everything. What? Oh, okay. So what this is telling me is that there are two versions of the gray that I can get. One where I drown, and one where the house burns down. And I probably burn with it. Because, yeah, what we're looking at here, so like, these are the same woods before, the more of a rolling plain. So this would be a different version of this. More of a museum than a cabin. I could smell the wood rot. So yeah, this would be, like, this is all a desiccated body, a drowned body. So yeah, two different versions of the gray. I wonder how you get the other version. I wonder if that's through the prisoner, or if it's through a different princess, or if it's random. That's incredibly interesting. Either way, very short, and not a whole lot to this one, actually. Huh. All right. Approach her.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once. All of me.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is guarded sorrow. She saw herself as alone, but in the end had the courage to share with another. She will make for a deep heart.
She saw herself as alone, but in the end had the courage to share with another. Like, try to show me how she felt. Very interesting.
Do not mourn her. She has finally been heard.
Okay. And then I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. That was a fast one. A deep heart. Bring the drowned gray to her.
You're on a path in the woods.
Upload successful. Click here to view previous files. Have a pleasant day.